Hello and welcome back. For the last video in the gawk series, I have some practical exercises, but before that I want to show you a numerical function. So the int function truncates a number to an integer, so it takes an expression as its parameter. And recall that the average values are floating point numbers. So they have a number, and then they have a decimal point, and then they have, this is the fraction of the number. But if you don't want to print a floating point number, you can take the average variable and then put it into the integer function, and then that will truncate, that is, cut off the decimal point, and then you're left with the integer values. So FYI, let's take a look at this begin rule. So we have the header text, and then we have a border, and then for the statement here we have, if field 0 matches this regular expression, then we will print all of these fields. This is the output file, and then we are sending the output to, this is the input file, excuse me, and then we are sending the output to an output file. Okay. All right. Now, for this next exercise, we want to print the employee numbers, first names, and the last names for employees with employee numbers 1 through 4. So I'm going to clear the screen, and just want you to know that this begin rule is exactly the same as before. Okay, then we are looking for a pattern range, and this is reminiscent of sed. And so if this pattern range is found, then we will print all of these fields. Okay, so I have created these users with user numbers, so that it's very easy for me to print a range of users rather than using the NR variable and just specifying it that way in the begin rule. So I'm going to clear the screen, and let's take a look at the begin rule here. So we have field 3 and field 4, and then some border. Okay, and so here, if field 3 is greater than or equal to 80, and field 4 is greater than or equal to 80, then print those. And notice, just very simple header, so that I can tell which one is which. Okay. So this is and, but here I want to print if field 3 is greater than or equal to 80, or field 4 is greater than or equal to 80. Okay, you can see those incidences. And so imagine if 80 is the quota, and we want to match on the columns or the fields that do not match the quota, the numbers in these fields that don't match the quota. So if they're less than 80, and that's the quota, then we are going to print those and have a report for that. So imagine the boss wants to know, well, who's below quota? I want you to print that and give me a report, and I want some headers so that I can tell what is what, which one is which. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen, and story is the patrons have run up a tab, but their 20% discounts will have to be subtracted from the total bill before they get their bill. So let me show you the text. So basically a database file. So they have fields for all of their charges on their tabs. Okay, and then using this, so sum equals the sum of all of these fields, and then the discount variable is the sum variable times 0.2, so that is 20%. That's how I get 20% of the bill. And then the total bill is a variable here, and so that variable consists of sum minus discount, and then we're just printing field 1 for the name, and then the variables one by one, so that you can see what's really going on here. Let me run this, and I'll show you that. See, Barry, he had a bill of $52. Then that was his discount, and then that is the net. So this is the gross, and then this is the net after we take away $10.4 for his discount. Now let's try this with some formatting. So this looks pretty. See, we have I could put a border above this, and then that would separate this from the rest of this text, and it would make it look pretty. But as you can see, we've lined up everything very nicely. That looks like a good report that you would give to your boss if he wanted to, keep this in his files. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen, and here we are looking for something that occurred at this point in time, and then involved a user that used sudo. And so we're printing the entire field if that is found. Okay. Now here, by using regular expressions, we can look for multiple statistics. So I want to look for someone whose first name is Leroy. I think the first letter of his last name is J. The area code is 213, and this person uses a .org email address and is a local employee. So here, I'm going to clear the screen to make this clear. And so I'm using 0 or more of any character to just continuously notice that this literal dot character had to be escaped by a backslash to just continue on. And this symbolizes any characters on the record in between what I'm actually looking for. So if you know your data, you can use regular expressions to match on multiple patterns in a record at the same time if you're looking for more and more specific things within, for example, your log files and such. So see, I'm looking for this person specifically. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. In the next episode, we will compare text files and binary files. So I hope you have a nice day. Thank you.